Organizing your classroom for assessment. Making assessment a normal part of your classroom life can be a challenge. Here are a few tips to help make it easier. Place supplies for recording in each activity area. Keep checklists where routines are carried out. As toilet training is an important part of most toddler classrooms, this teacher has placed toileting charts near the bathroom and changing areas. She also has incorporated a folder system for parents to collect student work near the cubby area and has clipboards for anecdotal notes in multiple areas of the classroom. This preschool classroom is similar to the toddler classroom. The teacher has placed recording materials in the music center, by the computer area, as well as by the journal and writing center. Another idea to make assessment materials accessible is for teachers to wear an apron or have clothes with pockets. Materials needed for assessment, such as pens, note cards, and timers, can be placed in the pockets and are accessible to the teacher in any setting. Here is a picture of an assessment cart where materials are kept for assessing students. This cart places the reading assessment materials at one end and the math materials at another. Some of the math materials include baggies and small metal containers holding manipulatives. Reading materials can include copies of forms needed, clipboards, timers, as well as leveled reading books. Materials needed more frequently can be placed towards the top of the cart, with less frequently needed materials placed in the bottom of the cart. The other side of this assessment cart contains another hanging basket with other materials that may be needed, including timers, paper clips, post-it notes, other notepads, and passes to the health office in case a child needs health attention while you are in the middle of assessing a student. This cart also has a container with different colors of pens and pencils. Using different colors of pens for different assessment periods is a way to note the date or recording period. If you use a different colored pen or pencil for each recording period and make a note of the date or period associated with that color, you can more easily track the information throughout the year. Another step in integrating assessment into the classroom is to gather information regularly. Gathering assessment data regularly also helps you stay organized and keeps you updated on what assessments are needed as well as when they are needed. Try to be unobtrusive but matter of fact when children ask what you are doing. This will become more natural once everyone is comfortable with the process. Maintaining dual focus is the ability to attend to two or more things at once, multitasking. For example, recording length or level of student participation in one group activity while you play a game or engage with another group of students. Where assessments are conducted is just as important as having the materials handy. When assessing, keep the rest of the room clearly visible. You want to easily maintain that dual focus, watching children working at tables, washing their hands at the sink, and working in the other areas of the classroom. Finally, there is the concept of maintaining credibility. To do this means to value student work. When you realize that you no longer need certain student work samples, the samples should not just be thrown in the trash for students and parents to see. Instead, keep the samples in a portfolio or send the work home. If there is testing information that needs to be disposed of, be sure to do so in a discreet and confidential manner. Teachers need a plan for incorporating assessment into teaching activities. Planning keeps assessment systematic, aligned with developmental and curriculum standards, and helps embed reinforcement in ongoing activities. It also helps you spread out your assessment throughout the year instead of trying to accomplish it all at once. Planning helps you to assess all children so that you are prepared to share the data at parent-teacher conferences. Being prepared and organized is essential for ongoing classroom assessment. You can use binders or record books to help you keep track of different types of information. You can use them to record individual student information and group information. Using files or portfolios can help you keep student information, records, and products organized. Choosing some form of system to keep student materials is essential to staying organized. Forms and charts can also be created to help you organize assessment information. The lesson resources provides you with multiple examples, but I also recommend that you create new ones to fit your individual assessment needs. If you are unable to create them on your own, there is a wealth of forms and charts available online. Seeking out and using technological aids can also help you organize and stay organized. Computers can be used to keep track of assessment information and help you create the forms and charts you may need. Cameras, audio, and video equipment are excellent tools for capturing student progress. Just remember that if you use any of these forms of technological assistance, permission must be obtained by each parent or caregiver. Some school districts already include these forms of permission in their regular yearly parent paperwork. It is best if you check with your administrator about permission requirements. Low-tech solutions can be just as helpful. A few low-tech solutions are binders, clipboards, post-it notes, labels, colored dots, writing materials, rubber stamps, self-reports, and hanging file boxes. To review what we discussed in this lesson, here's a brief list of do's and don'ts when organizing your classroom for assessment. Do not assess all at once. Do not dispose of student work inappropriately. Do not collect an overabundance of student products. And do not develop plans that are not practical. Do schedule activities so you have time to assess. Do assess throughout the school year. Do maintain dual focus. Do develop an assessment plan. Do organize files and forms. And do ask colleagues for help, as well as use technological aids. Remember, it is most important to find the techniques and organizational structures that best fit the needs of your students, your teaching style, and your assessment requirements. Otherwise, the assessment data that you gather may be incomplete, inaccurate, or unreliable. The most important thing to remember is collect assessment data regularly and use the data for instructional planning.